Alrighty, guys, we are now 4-0 in our last 4 underdog tier package bets on my website. But before we get into some more of that, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the video here today for Monday, August 22nd, 2022. My name is Brock Page, and I do sports picks for free right here on YouTube. I also sell my personal sports bets on patreon.com/BrockPage. And once again, guys, we're 4-0 in our last 4 underdog tier package bets on that site. And if you want to access today's underdog tier package bet, the link for that play is in the description section below. And as an added bonus here, guys, if you sign up for that package here today, you're going to get access to that membership all the way until September 1st. And if that ain't enough, I'm also going to throw in all of my cheaper, lesser expensive memberships on my website, absolutely free, if you end up buying that underdog tier. Now, I currently have over 610 members who are signed up and active on my website right now. And you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my website. What I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side, and total. And what I do on my website is I actually share with you which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally. You can also access my current personal sports betting record right now by going to the homepage. And with that, guys, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. We're going to take a look at the White Sox taking on the Royals, 2:10 p.m. East. Chicago's the $1.50 favorite, totals 8.5 runs. Michael Kopech for Chicago, Daniel Lynch for Kansas City. Now, Danny Lynch is just 4-8 on the season with an ERA of 4.52. And even if the Lynch man has a good outing here today, the Royals may not give him the run support he so desperately needs. KC's in the bottom 5 in homers, bottom 10 in runs. They're also facing Michael Kopech, who's got a 3.25 ERA and a 1.18 whip. Now, the Sox have also won 6 out of their last 9, and they have little issue getting on base. These guys are in the top 5 in team batting average, and they're led by Jose Abreu, who's hitting .308 at the dish. Now, total-wise, Chicago's 7-3 to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, Kansas City went 60% to the under in their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean toward the White Sox, -1.5, under 8.5. Next ball game, it is going to be Reds, Phillies, 7:05 East. Philadelphia is the $2.50 favorite, totals 8.5 runs. Noah Syndergaard for Philadelphia, Luis Cessa for Cincinnati. And out of 37-plus innings this year, Luis Cessa has a 5.50 ERA, along with a 1.46 whip. And aside from winning just 37% of their road games, the Reds are also in the bottom 3 in road scoring. Now, they're facing Noah Syndergaard here today for Philadelphia. Noah's got a 1.21 whip, along with an ERA in the 3s. Now, these Philly hitters have also had little issue producing runs this year. They're in the top 10 in scoring, top 10 in home runs. When it comes to the total, 3 out of Philly's last 4 contests at Citizens Bank Park got over the number. Meanwhile, the Reds went 4-0 to the over in their last 4 on the road. I'm going to lean toward Philadelphia, -1.5, over 8.5. Next ball game, it is going to be Mets, Yankees, 7:05 East. The New York Mets are -160, total 7.5. Max Scherzer for the Mets, Domingo Germán for the Yankees. And speaking of the Yankees, well, their pitching staff has been solid this year. They're actually in the top 3 in the majors right now in fewest hits allowed per game. They've held their competition only 3.5 runs a game. Meanwhile, offensively, they're hitting more home runs per contest than any other club in baseball. Of course, Aaron Judge, he has a league best 46 homers, along with 102 runs batted in. When it comes to scoring runs, well, the Yankees are leading the American League in that particular category. They're taking on a Mets team on the other side of things who's actually had a tough time in interleague play this year. Not only do they have a losing record against the American League right now, they've also been terrible at cashing in on the run line. Out of 15 interleague contests this year against the American League, well, they've covered the 1.5 only 4 times. And of course, that is good for just 26% in that category. So once again, these guys having a tough time covering the number against American League opponents this year. Now, total-wise, 8 out of Scherzer's last dozen starts fell under the number. Meanwhile, the Yankees went 8-2 to the under in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward the Yankees plus 1.5, under 7.5. Next ball game, Braves, Pirates, 7:05 East. Atlanta's the $2 favorite, totals 8.5. Jake Odorizzi for Atlanta, Ronzi Contreras for Pittsburgh. Now, Ronzi's got a 1.41 whip and an ERA in the 4s. Now, the Pirates have also lost 8 out of their last 10. And they cashed in on the run line in only 30% of those ball games. Now, the Pirates' biggest problem this year is their inability to get base runners. They're dead last in the National League in team batting average. They're also striking out more times a game at the plate than any other squad in the National League. Now, they're taking on an Atlanta club on the other side of things, who actually won 8 out of their last 10 themselves. And they currently lead the NL in home runs. Austin Riley's got a team-best 31 homers. Meanwhile, Matt Olson leads the franchise in runs batted in. Olson's got 83 ribbies on the year. And no real surprise here, guys. The Braves are in the top 3 in the league right now in OPS. Now, when it comes to the total, the Braves' last 3 straight road games all fell under the posted number. They also went 60% to the under in their last 10 at any location. I'm going to lean toward the Braves, minus 1.5, under 8.5. Next contest, it is going to be Angels taking on the Rays. That's going to be a 7:10 Eastern first pitch. Now, Tampa Bay is the $2.20 favorite in the Trop, total 7 runs. Jeffrey Springs for Tampa Bay, Tucker Davidson for Los Angeles. And even though Tucker hasn't been great, the Angels have actually done a real nice job of pitching on the road this year. These guys are in the top 3 in the bigs in fewest road hits allowed. Meanwhile, at the plate, the Angels have averaged nearly 5 runs a game in their last 10 head-to-head meetings with Tampa Bay. Now, Shohei Ohtani has a team-best 27 homers, along with 72 runs batted in. Now, they're taking on a Tampa team on the other side of things who really doesn't hit the ball too much themselves. These guys are currently in the top 10 in team batting average. They're also in the bottom 10 in runs. And out of Jeffrey Springs' last handful of starts here, the Rays did lose 3 of 5 ball games during that span. So once again, the Rays lost 3 out of their last 5 Jeffrey Springs starts. Total-wise, the Rays went 60% to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, the Angels saw unders in 6 out of their last 10 themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Angels plus 1.5, under 7. Next ball game I have for you, it is going to be Rangers taking on the Twins, 7:10 Eastern start time. Minnesota's the $2.05 favorite, totals 8.5 runs. Sonny Gray for the Twins, Cole Reagans for Texas. Now, the Rangers got the W in 6 out of their last 9 ball games. They also cashed in on the run line in their last 3 straight on the road. Hitting-wise, Corey Seager has a team-best 26 home runs. Meanwhile, Nate Lau is hitting nearly 300 at the dish. Now, as a team, the Rangers are currently in the top 10 in home runs per contest. Definitely a threat hitting the long ball. They're taking on a Minnesota club who's failed to cover in 6 out of their last 10 themselves. And in these two teams' last 10 head-to-head meetings, well, Minnesota's allowed nearly 5 runs a game. Kind of struggling on the mound here against the Rangers. Now, when it comes to the total, oddly enough, 8 out of Minnesota's last 10 ball games fell under the number. Meanwhile, the Rangers went 70% to the under in their last 10. I'm going to lean toward Texas plus 1.5, under 8.5. Next ball game, little NL Central action. I'm talking about the Cards taking on the Cubs, 8:05 at Wrigley. St. Louis is minus 175, totals 8. Jordan Montgomery for St. Louis, Drew Smyly for Chicago. And even though Smile Guy's got a pretty good ERA, he does come into today's game with a losing 5-6 record. Now, the Cubs have also played some fairly lackluster baseball at home this year. These guys are just 26-35 in the friendly confines. Now, they're taking on a red-hot St. Louis club who won their last 7 straight. They also scored 56 total runs during that time frame. Paul Goldschmidt, he's hitting a league-best .340 at the plate. Really nobody in baseball doing it better than Goldie right now. Paulie's also leading the majors with a 1.059 OPS. When it comes to the pitching, well, the Cards have done a nice job this year on the mound. Starting pitcher Jordan Montgomery, he comes into today's ball game with a .369 ERA. Now, Montgomery also has a 1.10 whip. When it comes to the scoring in this one, the Cards are currently 64% to the under in their divisional road games. Jordan Montgomery also saw his last 3 straight starts fall under the line. Meanwhile, the Cubs, on the other side of things, they've gone 12-4 to the under in their Drew Smyly starts. I'm going to lean towards St. Louis minus 175, under 8. Next matchup, it is going to be Marlins A's, 9:40 p.m. East. Miami's minus 140, total 7. Edward Cabrera for Miami, Adam Oller for Oakland. Now, Oller's got an ERA of 6.63 along with a 1.69 whip. The A's are also one of the worst hitting teams in baseball. They have the lowest team batting average right now in the game. They're also facing Edward Cabrera on the other side of things, who's been solid in his short body of work. He's got a 1.78 ERA thus far, along with a 1.05 whip. This Miami pitching staff also does a real nice job keeping the ball down in the zone. They're actually in the top 10 right now in fewest home runs allowed per game. Now, total-wise, Miami went 8-2 to the under in their last 10. They also saw their last 3 straight Cabrera starts fall under the total. I'm going to lean toward Miami minus 140. And the under 7 runs. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It is going to be Brewers taking on the Dodgers. That's going to be a 10:10 Eastern first pitch. The LA Dodgers are minus 260 at home. Totals 8 runs. Julio Urias for Los Angeles. Eric Lauer for Milwaukee. Now, the Brewers lost in 4 out of Lauer's last 7 starts. Let's try that again. The Brewers lost in 4 out of Lauer's last 7 starts. And as a matter of fact, Milwaukee scored just 2 total runs in his last 2 starts during that span. And that's really not all that surprising. This Milwaukee lineup's had a tough time getting base runners this year. These guys are in the bottom 10 in team batting average, and they're striking out more times a game than most clubs in the National League. They're also facing Julio Urias, who has 13 wins on the season, along with an ERA in the 2s. Now, Urias also has 123 strikeouts, along with a .98 whip. And even if Urias struggles here today, this Dodger lineup can certainly outscore anyone. They're currently leading the league in OPS and runs per game. Freddie Freeman's hitting a team-best .324 at the plate. He's actually 3rd in the majors in that category. Meanwhile, teammate Trey Turner, he's got a team-best 83 runs batted in. When it comes to the total, the Brewers did see 4 out of their last 6 on the road get over the total. They also went 60% to the over in their last 10 ball games at any location. I'm going to lean toward the Dodgers minus 1.5 and the over 8 runs. And with that, guys, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Powered to you by my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. I like the White Sox minus 1.5, under 8.5. Give me Philadelphia minus 1.5, over 8.5 runs. New York Yankees plus 1.5, under 7.5. Atlanta Braves minus 1.5, under 8.5 runs. LA Angels plus 1.5, under 7. Texas Rangers plus 1.5, under 8.5 runs. St. Louis minus 175 under 8. Miami Marlins minus 140 under 7. And before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that I'm 4-0 my last 4 underdog tier package bets on my website. And if you want to see which one of these free picks on this video that I'm actually betting on personally, there's only one way to do that, and that's to sign up for a membership on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. I'm going to lean toward the Dodgers minus 1.5 over 8 runs. With that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my website. If you guys do end up getting a membership here today, just keep in mind you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. I always tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. And guys, if you want to get access to every single bet, every single package, every single day, you're going to want to sign up for my board member package. It's an all-inclusive membership. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that said, guys, happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.